With this education, I feel like we're trying to help people to create some sort of purpose and meaning in their life, to help answer that call if they felt called to help people.
You never know what you're going to go through, what's going to change, what you're going to learn, how you're going to evolve and grow. So we ask our students to be very open-minded and prepared to transform.
We have the professional development that goes over theory, it's more didactic. That's where the online lectures come into play. So you're learning from those professionals and getting the science behind psychedelics, you're understanding what's going on in the field, but then also this deeper dive in your own personal explorations.
We really wanted to see more transpersonal and depth psychology included in training curriculums, getting people access to doing deep self-work as part of their training.
This is just completely immersive and it's just completely relevant across the board. Any sort of formal education, you're not going to have professors that are, the big names, essentially. And every single class that you take is relevant to the field of study.
There's this common goal to want to facilitate transformative experiences that are very profound and have a deep impact on people's lives.
I would highly recommend enrolling in Vital because you will be surprised, you will be shocked, you will be all the great things that happen in the process of inventing and recreating.
I really think of it more as like transformative education. We have the mental, intellectual stuff, but also I think a really big part of this is being able to do your own work. I think that's really where the real learning and transformation comes from.
I keep thinking about how I found the program, and I think it found me.
There's a lot of things that have brought me to Vital, this transformation, and I started with a coaching program through addiction recovery, and they introduced psychedelic preparation and integration in that concept, and my mind was blown. I didn't realize that I would be living in a time that this type of conversation could be alive, so alive and rich.
I heard about Vital. I was very excited because I was missing that piece. I was missing that community that I needed to have these deeper conversations about consciousness and extraordinary states.
I always say we're really trying to develop psychedelic literacy and competency here within professional fields.
They're going to be creating their own businesses, jumping into amazing retreat centers or research organizations, and helping add a lot of color and depth to those projects. I believe we're going to be creating a lot of real leaders.
So we really did identify those students that are going to have maximum impact all around the world, wherever they're living, around social justice, harm reduction, ending the drug war, having really integrative, holistic healing for folks that use psychedelics.
I really enjoy the format because it's not your typical institution layout, and you have to, take all these tests and remember all this material. There's this fluidity in the material and a conversation again about what we're doing together. And there's this community, and I'm like, what? Where have you all been? This is my community.
The Vital community is made up of all kinds of people from everywhere, from all over the globe, different backgrounds, different education levels, different interests. But what we have in common and what you find is openness. Everyone's curious. Everyone is determined to be better.
We really want to educate professionals around psychedelics so that they can go and serve their clients and their communities and also be educators.
So we've got a couple of CEOs that run businesses, psychedelic companies, drug development companies, got policy researchers, ketamine clinic directors, loads of therapists, psychologists, coaches, guides, pharmacists, journalists, psychiatrists. So they've all got their own unique vision.
I'm a coach, I'm an embodiment coach, so I can use psychedelics as one of the tools to help people reconnect with their bodies. And that's possible because I understand how the medicines work, I understand their pharmacology, which I got from the course. I understand how to create safe journeys and how to help people integrate, which I got from the course. So I can see myself integrating this into my business that already exists, or building a brand new one, because one of the things they also offered as an elective was how to build a psychedelic career business.
The greatest achievement has been what the students have brought to this course. So we're a bit surprised by how much of the value of Vital is the students themselves.
They've found maybe a purpose for themselves, and I think with that they're able to find their own path through this emerging field that isn't psychology. It's not necessarily clinical. It's how do we be human together and walk each other home, to quote Ram Dass. Like, how do we be with each other in a beautiful way?
I did not have the amount of knowledge that I have now. I didn't have the community that I have now, which is absolutely amazing because it's not this underground thing that you're doing. It's actually people that have the same drive to learn and use these to serve the world as you do.
That I have felt a welcome part of the community, and that I do have a seat at the table, and then I feel free and welcome to ask my questions.
People are trying to go inside now and not always just seek outside themselves for answers. One of the main aspects of psychedelics and holotropic states of healing is the idea of the inner healer, and that you know what you need. You have the information within.
The experience is great, but what do you do with the experience afterwards? How do you integrate that into life? I think that's where a lot of the magic is happening.
I think what makes Vital special are the people who are involved, the people that have been brought in to help educate and to share the wealth of their experiences in this field.
And the structure of it is really fitting because I work 2 jobs, and I could work full-time between both of those 2 jobs and go to school and experience community.
It's really great to be together with people who are open-minded, they're also very compassionate, and you feel like you can be your authentic self.
Every participant has to go through a retreat because it's part of how you graduate.
Have that opportunity to meet new people that they wouldn't meet and create a safe container, because we're inspired by other people and we also heal. So we're inspired by community and we also heal in community.
It's like this sort of cross-pollination of ideas and energy that creates this just sort of beautiful, blossoming among the groups. Experiencing that joy with everyone and how we can learn from each other and feed off of each other and be influenced and inspired of how, we can collaborate. And, maybe I do breath work and you teach yoga or CrossFit, and bring it into our process and our community of healing and say, hey, this is another tool that we can use, and I'll be there to support you if there's anything that you need.
Being able to come together, it feels like you're home. That's super powerful because, that's really what we need more of in the world.
So I'm very impressed with the amount of content and the delivery, how much effort has gone in by that team. I think it's perfect.
So the really cool thing is hearing people's voices from Amsterdam and Costa Rica and Canada, and hearing how all of these other cultures approach the use of psychedelics.
You kind of naturally have an affinity towards one another. We feel like we're our own family we've created. We're like the first cohort in this program, so we're all laying some groundwork together, pioneers in our own way.
The much deeper, more nuanced aspects of how do we do this psychedelic renaissance in an ethical way, in a way that ensures accessibility to all, and it incorporates this more spiritual and indigenous aspects of being a human being. So we've really built the teaching team to reflect all of those different diverse beliefs, traditions and disciplines along the spectrum. So students will soak all of that up and then evolve it into who they are and how they want to practice their own craft.
I'd love to see a diverse future where you have the clinical, you have community care-led things, you have your spiritual and religious centers, you have things for self-development, creativity, and just really normalizing non-ordinary experiences and creating a safe container for people to explore their relationship to themselves, to the universe, and to whatever helps them make meaning out of this life. And I think psychedelics, breathwork, other non-ordinary states help us develop that relationship to what are we doing here on this floating rock.
What's really surprised both of us is the depth at which people have become super committed to their training, to their process, and to Vital itself. We expected people to really like it, but we didn't expect people to love it as much as they have.
It's just been such a blessing, like to feel, I don't know, like you belong.